Kevin Durant, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Edwards. What do those three names have in common? Well, those were the three top scorers in each of Team USA's 3 group games. And this is why Team USA are so unstoppable. Because on any given night, almost any one of these players can play like the best player on the planet. And if that sounds like an exaggeration, did Anthony Edwards not look like the best player on the planet when he was dropping 40 points every other game during the first few rounds of the playoffs? Well, if you thought he looked like a superstar then, that was what we saw from him in Team USA's final group game against Puerto Rico, going off for 26 points on 11 of 15 shooting in just 17 minutes. Imagine being so good that you have these two absolute demons coming off the bench. Two guys who we have already seen single-handedly crush opposition teams during the group stages of these Olympics. And they're coming off the bench because, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's also because you have two guys in Devin Booker and LeBron James who have been the most consistent of any Team USA players throughout the first 5 exhibition games and now throughout the 3 group stage games, with LeBron still doing LeBron things, even at his age. 45, 50, I don't know. I've lost count of how old he is. I've also lost count of how many ridiculous passes he's made for Team USA so far, because the game against Puerto Rico was another playmaking clinic from him, putting up a casual 8 assists in 17 minutes, which means he has recorded 22 assists in under 70 minutes of action for Team USA throughout the group stages. In other words, LeBron James has been a walking triple-double relative to the minutes he's been playing. And I mentioned Devin Booker. Well, for anyone who questioned what his role would be on Team USA, the answer is everything. And Steve Kerr said that himself. He's probably been the guy who's been most adaptable to go from a different role in the NBA to a new one here. He's such a big scorer in the league, but just like in Tokyo, he's adapted to being an on-ball guy, ball mover. The offense clicks when he's out there, and the defense is really good. That's why he started every game and seems to be good with any combination. So apart from the dozen championships he's won as a player and coach, I guess me and Steve Kerr aren't that different after all, because that's exactly what I've seen with Devin Booker. The same could be said for Derek White and Drew Holiday, particularly Drew Holiday, who missed the last game against Puerto Rico, and a lot of people were clowning Steve Kerr for having a 3-guard lineup against Serbia in the opening game. But the team just simply looks better with Drew on the floor, and he's not a regular guard either, because whilst he can handle, he can play make, he can create, he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective, and oh, on defense, you can match him up against literally anyone on the opposition and he'll do a good job. I've seen him guard Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid better than a lot of big men. Look at him here fronting Embiid. With some help from Porzingis on the backside, Philly are unable to get the ball into Joel, and the Celtics get a stop. Or in this play, which shows why Holiday sometimes takes the center assignments for Boston. Embiid sets the screen, Holiday quickly switches out to stunt at Maxey driving before then sliding back to Embiid, and even with his step from Embiid, Drew has those active hands to poke the ball free. So when you have someone capable of guarding Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, Damian Lillard, you name it, it doesn't matter the height or size, Drew will make them work for absolutely everything. When you have someone like this, you try to get them as many minutes as possible to help your team win a gold medal. It also helps that Drew is consistently efficient from all 3 levels on the floor. I'm just saying, it's worth remembering these things the next time Steve Kerr decides to put him in a lineup with Steph Curry and Devin Booker. And if you want to talk about efficiency, well, Team USA are the team to talk about, because to truly put into perspective how dominant Team USA were in the opening 3 games of these group stages, yes, dominant, because that's what everyone has been asking for, and they got dominance, because over the course of the group stages, 36 games were played amongst 12 teams. In those 36 games, 100 points or more was scored 6 times, so that's about a 17% chance of any team scoring 100 points. Well, not exactly, because 3 of those 6 100-point games were a result of, you guessed it, which means that every team not named Team USA had a 10% chance of scoring 100 points. Meanwhile, USA had a, oh that's right, 100% chance, with them averaging just under 106 points per game over those 3 games, which if you were to translate to 48 minutes, that would be 127 points a game. Obviously, that would be the most in NBA history over the course of a season, shooting 43% from 3 during those games. So like I said, if you want to talk about efficiency, the entire Team USA roster has been efficient. Actually, that's not entirely true, because the craziest part is, only 2 guys haven't been efficient. The reigning scoring champion and Stephen Curry, who is the most efficient volume scorer, not just in the NBA, in NBA history. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Yet Team USA are blowing teams out of the water with the greatest shooter ever struggling, and a guy who averaged 35 points per game in the NBA last year struggling as well. You can never be sure of anything in sports, but I can be pretty damn sure if these two guys start hitting their shots, there is pretty much nothing any other team on Earth could do to stop this team